Welcome all of you. My name is Bruce Garbish. I'm a member of Trinity, the congregation here that's really pleased to welcome these fine musicians. This concert that we're going to hear reflects part of an enduring 23-year-old tradition presented to us by the Northern Lights Chamber Music Institute. Now, some of you probably know the background of this venture, but I want to give a snapshot version in case some of you don't. To backtrack a little bit, our state, Minnesota, is blessed to have as one of its organizations supporting the arts, the Chamber Music Society of Minnesota. And I want to quote from their mission statement because it's impressive and worthy of hearing. I quote, "The Society strives to contribute to the cultural richness of our communities and the world through the beauty and vitality of intimate chamber music." Now, it has an educational arm called the Northern Lights Chamber Music Institute. Each summer, the Institute sponsors an intense 11-day experience for study of chamber music by its participants. The setting for this program in the last 8 or 9 years has been Camp Vermilion, which is part of Voyager's Lutheran ministry. Now, the young participants that we're going to hear are applicants, the youngest of whom are from high school, and the older ones of whom are from college or graduate school settings. Now, I think I can speak on the part of all of you in the audience that we feel incredibly blessed to have this concert offered to us here in this little community of Cook. So we're really grateful to all the faculty and students who are going to share their musical gifts and talents with us. And as I told your director, we have to pinch ourselves sometimes to realize that we're hearing this not at Orchestra Hall down in Minneapolis, but in the sanctuary of a little church in a little town with not even 600 people. We are so fortunate. Our namesake, Martin Luther, had his share of flaws and foibles, but I think he had it right about music and musicians. Of musicians, of you 30-some, he said this: "Whoever is skilled in this art is of a very good temperament, fitted for all things." So we feel grateful for you being fitted for all things, not only with your instruments, but as you go out into the world in other contexts, too. Of music itself, he said, "Beautiful music is the art of prophets that can calm the agitation of the soul. It's one of the most magnificent and delightful presents God has given to us." So in just a minute, you're going to give us your magnificent and delightful presents. I fear I'm wearing out my welcome, so let me introduce you to the artistic director of the Northern Lights Institute, Young Nam Kim. Welcome. And unlike my words, worrying about carrying on, don't you worry about carrying on too long with the music. You're providing us a once-a-year musical feast for which we're so grateful. So take your time and immerse us in as much music as you think we can enjoy.
Thank you, Bruce, for such a wonderful introduction. I think he said everything about us already, so I don't need to repeat that. I'm just basically in charge of making programs for these young people, and it's my great privilege to have a chance to work with. We had 31 young people, some coming from as far as Utah and Boston, mostly from great Minnesota, or Wisconsin too. I'm in trouble. Anyway, as Bruce might have mentioned, as he mentioned, that it is a long program than usual, because I programmed the 16 pieces to distribute equally among 31 young people. There's an extra one, another very short piece to introduce faculty. It's a total of 17. But hopefully and then we finish as an orchestra. We begin with the quintets and quartets, sextets and octets. And then at the end, everybody will join together as one single orchestra Luckily for them, no conductor. And they play remarkably together. So I look forward to hearing them with you. Before we begin the concert, I'd like to express our deep appreciation for Bruce and Trinity Church for having us. And then also I'd like to introduce our godparents, we call, Barry and Millie Bisanet. And Millie is the one who designed this T-shirt we all wear. And would you acknowledge Barry and Millie? This. Please stand up, Millie. Okay, and I look forward to hearing these young people with all of you. Thank you again for coming, and I hope you'll have a good evening with these great young people. How do you turn this off? Oh, thank you.
About here is the final and sixth string quartet or quintet of Karl Ditters von Dittersdorf. Can you hear me now? Yeah, he wins an award for composer with the dumbest name. But this piece, and if you're unfamiliar with he was a friend of Mozart and Haydn, so he's a classical composer. And this quintet, something special about it is he composed it right before he visited the King of Prussia, Friedrich Wilhelm, who was a cellist. And so you might notice that this piece is a little biased in the instrument it gives solos to, and that was because Dittersdorf was kind of trying to pamper to the king a little bit. So I hope I can do those solos justice.
playing Concerto in G major by Telemann. Telemann was a composer from the Baroque era. He was born in Germany and composed there all of his life. He was really well known for being the composer who has written the most amount of pieces out of any classical composer. He was also really good friends with Bach. His pieces were well known for being playful and energetic, and that's probably something you're going to hear in our piece, so we hope you enjoy.
This next piece by Luigi Boccherini has a lot of really playful and happy motifs in it. Boccherini was known through his music, or is known through his music as kind of being a playful, happy guy. So we hope that we can kind of expose those emotions tonight for you. Thank you.
Robert Schumann wrote this quartet along with two others in the set of Opus 41 as a gift to his wife Clara Schumann. And this movement that we're about to play encapsulates how much he really cherished her, as he quotes her name all throughout the piece in the form of a falling fifth of Clara. So, enjoy.
This next piece that we're going to be playing is Erwin Schulhoff's Five Pieces for String Quartet. Schulhoff was a Czech composer, and he wrote most of his music after he fought in World War I and got injured. So he explored a lot of themes about the trauma he experienced during the war. He was also one of the first classical composers to be heavily influenced by jazz and more contemporary styles. What else? Sorry, I'm blinking. One moment. Basically, this first movement is more of a waltz, and it has more it has more sinister undertones, and the second movement that we're going to be playing features a lot of Czech folk music, so enjoy.
This string sextet by Dvorak was written during a very prolific time of the composer's life. He wrote a lot of his most well-known chamber music during this period. This third movement we're going to play is based off of the Czech Furiance, which is a folk dance with a 3/4 time signature and a very lively feel.
This next piece is composed by Shostakovich, and it was composed when he was young after the loss of a dear friend of his. And throughout it, you can kind of see where he was taking, I guess, his emotions with the different stages of grief. We hope that we can adequately express those feelings tonight, and we hope you enjoy.
hello. We're playing Mendelssohn's Octet, the fourth movement of Mendelssohn's Octet in E flat major. Mendelssohn wrote this piece in 1825 when he was 16, just like me. So we're only 200 years apart. He dedicated this piece to his friend and violin teacher, Edward. And it's one of the first string octets ever written, and is considered the pioneer for the octet genre, string octet genre. It's super fun and super fast, and we love it, so I hope you love it too.